Hey, everybody. It is Monday. It is 8:30-ish, and it is time for Conversations with Teresa. Of course, I am excited because I get to be here with you guys. It's been rather such an amazing day. Nice and full. The sun was shining. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but in Boston, we had like such a great day. So we were like, I don't know, 60s or whatever, which is practically our summer, right? I don't even know what to say about that. But anyway, I'm glad that you guys made it. Conversations with Teresa. Here we are. Good stuff, good stuff. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is finding your why. I think you guys know what I'm talking about when you're finding your why, the reason why you're doing all that you're doing. And I may have said this before, and I'm sure I will say it again. The reason why we do things, why we make decisions, choose something or reject something, it's really because it's a feeling that we're chasing after. We want to feel good about something, or we're trying to avoid not feeling good about something. And I know I am super simplifying this, but maybe an illustration will do the trick. So I like the way chocolate cake makes me feel sliding down my throat way more than I like asparagus, right? You feel me? You see what I'm saying? So guess what I'm going to choose over and over again? I'm just saying, right? So yeah, chocolate cake over asparagus any day, anytime. So, I think about why I chose to be a coach, why I chose to be a trainer, a speaker, a podcaster. And after many years and a ton of experiences, and yes, good and bad feelings, I discovered and sometimes recovered my why all along the way. And I'm sure it started before this, but let me just tell you my earliest point of building or realizing my why, just like a time placer time. You know what I'm talking about. So of course I didn't realize it at the time, but it makes so much sense now. So when I was about 15, I worked in a hospital and I was a dietary aide, a food service aide. I don't know what they call it now. And I really love that job for so many different reasons. And so when new folks started, I helped and I trained them. I showed them, where everything was, how to do things, the proper way of doing all of that stuff. And there was one person in particular that stands out to me, and we're going to call her Jackie. And Jackie, she was my age. She might have been like a year older than me. So pretty, really nice girl. And for whatever reason, we found out, or I found out, that Jackie was coming in making about $1 more than me. And I mean, it's not like we were making bank then, right? So kind of calling out my age. I think I was making like $6 or something like that, and she was making 7. So that was just craziness, right? What's going on with that? So I found that out, and I was like, that's not going to work out. So I went and I talked to my boss, Mr. K. He was such a great guy. So I'm just like, hey, what's going on? I mean, I don't know much about how things work, the politics of, a job or things like that. I just knew that Jackie's coming in making more money than me, and I wasn't having it. So I talked to Mr. K, and Mr. K is like, oh, well, she's had more experience in the food service industry and yada, yada, yada. And I said, well, if she's had more experience, then why am I training her? Right. I was like, we're not doing that. So anyway, so we had a, back and forth a little bit. Again, Mr. K, awesome guy. I brushed it off. I was just like, I guess that's just the way it was, but I was feeling some stuff, right? So a few weeks later, he comes back to me and says probably one of the coolest things. He says, when you came in the office and you were talking about how she made more than you, I had to take this back, and I looked back and I saw that there were why can't I think of the words? But everyone's pretty much everyone's salary had to be readjusted, and it was because of the equity. That's what I was at, right? So human resources looked at it and said, hey, we're not in line with everything. And so everyone in the whole department pretty much got a raise. Now, I'm sitting here like as a 15-year-old, I was like, for real? Like because I said something, that's how I was feeling, right? I was feeling pretty good about life. I was like, whoop, whoop. Everybody got an increase. I was like feeling the power of words were so amazing that I could use my words to change, affect, increase people around me. I could literally change people's lives by the words that I say. And I'm sure that it was a pivotal point in where I got my confidence, but also I just love the feeling of being able to help, being able to change, to be influential in the things that I said. And like my words held weight. And again, I remember that feeling of what? And I didn't know it at the time, but that was something I wanted to make sure that that happened again and again and again. So, over and over, I was able to help people influence, encourage, teach, and inspire at work or at school with my family, friends, church, neighbors, even some strangers. And not like every single interaction was always met with enthusiasm. You have setbacks along the way, but I had enough positive things that it allowed me to stick with it. It allowed me again to build my why, all of those feelings that I felt, all of the changes that I was able to make, it just reinforced my why. So, when we start looking at our why is exactly why we stick with things. Ideas come and go, even feelings come and go. But when you find your why, then what can sway you? I will say that finding your why is not always easy. It is a road of discovery. It's also a road piled up with life that does not allow you the time always to ask the why question. I mean, we have work, school, children, spouses, aging parents, health issue, menopause. Yep, I said it, menopause, because that stuff be messing us all up. All right. We got our fears, we got our doubts, we got exhaustion. We got all these things pulling away at our time to find we have all these things. It's pulling away at our time so that when we're looking for our why in life, it gets buried underneath all of that stuff. Now, I will say that if you have found your why already, I am so thrilled for you. But the majority of us, it takes some time if we even ever get there. So, for those who may need a bit of help, I am always here for you. You can always go to teresaalene.com and book Teresa for a 30-minute session. See if we're a good fit. I would love for you to find your why. Me finding my why, amazing. I am so thrilled and so excited. But in the meantime, as you're looking for your why, let me give you a tip on finding your why. All right. Just some good exercises in your search for finding your why. So, as you go about your day over the next few weeks, I want you to notice the things that you like, the things that appeal to you, the things that make you feel good, and say to yourself, yes, I'll take more of that. Maybe it's someone sending you some good vibes. Maybe it's the sunshine of the day. Maybe you're giving a compliment or receiving a compliment and all the different things that you feel because of that. Having your feel good song play when you wake up in the morning, things that fill up your bucket. Yes to that. And literally, verbally, just say, yes, I will take more of that. And you're welcoming it in all day, all the time. Now, also, I want you to notice the things that drain you. This is equally as important. Negative vibes, toxic conversations, self condemning talk to yourself or in your head. To this, say, no, thank you. And be sure to say thank you at the end. Say the no and say the thank you because you have just learned something or reinforced something on your journey to finding your why by rejecting the things that you don't want. You're clearing the path so that you can now understand a little bit more of the things that you do want. A lot of times it is easier to say, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But sometimes it's a little harder to say, yes, I want that. So for all those bad experiences, you can say, thank you, bad boyfriend, for cheating on me. And now I know the signs to watch out for. Or thank you, bad boss, for showing me what not to put up with. I'm just saying, it's really good stuff and good for you for being able to recognize it. So, I hope that helped a lot. I have fully enjoyed my time with you this evening. Like I said, I hope that this was helpful. I feel free to look at this again, share it with a friend, and figure out someone else who might be able to use this as well. I am absolutely looking forward to being in touch with you and seeing you right back here next week for another episode of Conversations with Teresa. Be blessed. It's been amazing. You are wonderful. Peace out.